Welcome everyone. My name is Kim. I'm from Edmen Community Staffing Solutions. Just want to thank you today for taking the time to join us today. I'm not sure if we'll have a few more people join throughout the session, but we will get started. So today's webinar is obviously for Edmen and Devange, just to give you a bit of an insight on Edmen and what we do and how we collaborate with Devange Training to assist you on your journey to becoming a youth worker. So I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which this webinar is hosted, the Wadi Wadi people who are part of the Dharawal Nation, and pay our respects to elders past and present. So as I said, my name is Kim. On our agenda for today, we're going to have a little look into Edmen and who we are as a business, our values, what to expect in the recruitment process, and things you'll need to get started. I will touch on our Kickstart program for anyone who's getting into the industry, and how we also support our employees and some of our benefits. And then we'll also go through our employee app. And then I'll pass over to David, who will go through the Devange side of things with you. So a bit about Edmen. Edmen Community Staffing Solutions is Australia's largest dedicated provider of community support workers to government and non-government community service organisations with over 30 years of community services industry experience. So we employ casual youth and disability support workers and partner with community service organisations that provide vital support to people in need. Our support workers are essential in helping these organisations deliver the care and support their clients rely on. So that's where anyone who works with us comes in. So if you guys are interested in working in youth work, that's where you guys come in. And Edmen is powered by PeopleIN, which is the largest ASX listed talent solutions company in Australia. So what that looks like is we are supporting 1,000 sites, whether it be residential, respite, community care, looking at employing on average 1,900 support workers each year, which means we're supporting on average 2,800 people, filling over 250,000 shifts, the 98% fill rate, and we are operating across New South Wales, South Australia and Queensland, and continuously expanding as well. So our values, it's our mission to connect our clients with qualified and compassionate professionals in the community service sector, ensuring that they get the right people to deliver exceptional care to those that need it most. How do we do it? By living our core values every day. So our values reflect our dedication to our workforce, our clients, industry partners, and our community. Our values are be human, be bold, be memorable, and be extraordinary. So be human, this means we encourage honesty and transparency through communication. We create a safe and respectful environment for open collaboration, and we welcome new ideas and different perspectives. Be bold, we have resilience and bravery to fully execute actions despite any barriers. We demonstrate curiosity to continually innovate and improve, and we cultivate a culture of openness to give and receive feedback to accelerate our growth. Being memorable means we take responsibility for how we make people feel. We give a damn and work to exceed expectation in every facet of our work, and we ensure the energy we bring builds a fun and positive team spirit. And being extraordinary, we believe anything is possible. We are willing to take risks for continual growth and learning, and we embrace opportunities and be flexible and adaptive to change. Along with recruiting for support workers, we also have other opportunities in a perm recruitment capacity that you might not know about. So that includes specialist and senior roles. So at Edmen, we don't just offer casual work, we also recruit for permanent specialists and senior roles across the community services sector. As your career grows, you may have the chance to step into more senior opportunities with the support of a team that knows the industry inside and out. You can check out our open permanent opportunities on our website as well. We also have our support worker transition program. So many of our youth support workers start with Edmen in a casual role early on in their career and later transition into permanent positions with the organisations that they support. Through our support worker transition program, once you've completed a set number of hours with one of our community service partners, you may be eligible to move into a permanent role if there is one available. So just something to think about if you're thinking about starting in the industry, that there is that career opportunity and growth for you. Our recruitment process. So what to expect if you were to be onboarded with Edmen. At Edmen, our recruitment process is designed to make your journey into youth work as smooth as possible. We also tailor it to meet the unique needs of our clients and the young people you'll be working with. We're committed to making the experience better for everyone, which means we regularly review and refine our approach based on feedback from clients, staff, and candidates like yourself. And just based on that feedback, we've had a 94% satisfaction rating with our candidates that have come across and through our Edmen recruitment and onboarding process. So what that looks like to start is we will receive a job order from one of our clients. We then go out and start our sourcing process, so placing ads and then having candidates apply for those jobs. We'll screen our applicants. Anyone who's suitable will be placed for an interview. Once we conduct the interview, we start our onboarding process. Get all your documentation that needs to be completed, all the requirements that need to be met, have compliance sign off on that to make sure that all the requirements are met and that you are going to be all successful and ready to go once you start. Give you access to your active app and then hand you over to servicing where you can start receiving your shifts. So just going off the recruitment process as well, with our compliance during onboarding, we ensure that your onboarding process is thorough and transparent. Like I said, we want to make sure that you meet the requirements. We want to prioritize compliance every step of the way. As you start your journey with us, our recruitment team will review and collect all necessary documentation to ensure you meet the standards required to work in youth support. Our internal compliance team then performs an additional check and signs off on all your documents and verifications so you can feel confident that everything is in order before you commence. Once approved, your documents and candidate profile will be shared with our clients, ensuring they're fully informed and ready to support you in your new role. So in Queensland, this looks like making sure that we have your completed qualification on file, or if you're currently studying, a letter of confirmation of your course enrolment, a current and valid ID, your current national police check, a valid blue card, an LCS, which is a personal screening history check, a current first aid and CPR certificate, and any additional trainings that you might require depending on the client, and then 2 references as well. Our Kickstart program. So this is for anyone who's new to the industry, who's currently studying a relevant qualification. This is kind of like a pathway to get your foot in the door into the industry if you've not worked in the industry before. If you're new to the industry, like I said, this Kickstart program is a great way to make an impact and also earn while you're completing your studies. With a nationwide shortage of experienced youth workers, Kickstart has become a valuable solution for both our clients and our candidates. It allows you to gain hands-on experience while being supported every step of the way. Things to keep in mind with that: you'll receive additional on-site support from our community service partners to help you build your skills, and your placement hours will require sign-off from a qualified supervisor who works directly with you, which you can actually put towards your qualification as well. At Edmen, we work closely with our clients to ensure Kickstart candidates are set up for success, giving you the tools and support you need to thrive in the youth work field. Kickstart roles are advertised on our job board on the Edmen website if anyone is interested in having a look. Supporting your wellbeing at Edmen. So at Edmen, we believe that a proactive approach to worker wellbeing is key to your success. By staying ahead of potential challenges such as fatigue or performance concerns, we help ensure you're supported, empowered, and able to deliver high-quality care without disruption. So our support includes weekly check-ins to address concerns and staying connected, personalised support from a dedicated service coordinator, and regular sessions with a support and supervision manager to guide and empower you, and regular feedback to foster growth and recognition with updates shared with clients for transparency. So we're there with you every step of the way, even when you're on shift, on the floor, we're still there, making sure that we're there to back you. Just going off that as well, you will be supported by a dedicated servicing team that's there for you every step of the way. From day one, your service coordinator will provide ongoing guidance, support, and ensure you feel welcomed as a valuable member of the Edmen team. So the next steps after you are handed over from recruitment include, you get that welcome call from someone within 24 hours of being handed over to the servicing team. You'll have your induction and do shadow shifts. Make sure that you're all set up on your active app. You'll get your shifts allocated as per the request of the client and whatever meets your availability as well. You'll then do a post-placement assessment call after your first shift to check in and make sure everything's all good, to address any concerns you might have, just to have a bit of a debrief about your first shift, do a bit of a performance feedback, and then you'll be sent an onboarding feedback survey and have ongoing support and supervision as well as you continue in your role. So just some additional employee benefits. We have EAP and wellbeing services. So our employee assistant program service provides Edmen on-hire employees with access to free professional services and confidential counselling. Support is available to Edmen casual employees. We have Return to Work, which is an award-winning program to support staff with injury management and to assist with them in returning safely to the workplace. We have our Refer a Friend program, which we offer to workers who recommend a friend to work with Edmen. And then we also have additional perks, benefits and discounts for employees who receive access to a range of discounts and offers, including personal health insurance, retail and gyms. As I mentioned previously as well, we do have an Edmen mobile app that you would receive access to once you are onboarded to log your shifts and have a view of everything that's going on, so you're not missing the beat on anything that you're doing within your role as a youth worker. You'll have access to the Active by People in app designed to streamline your work life. The app provides a personalized dashboard to manage shifts, availability and compliance items all in one place. With the app, you can accept or decline shifts and receive notifications, navigate to shifts with integrated maps and request directions, update availability and request same-day shifts, view past and upcoming shifts, track compliance items like license expiry dates, and clock in and out with automatic timesheet submission. All Edmen support workers are set up with the app during onboarding for easy shift management from day one. Not sure if anyone has any questions, but we do have a Q&A box that I can give you access to, and then you guys can just pop in questions in there. I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone might have. If anybody wants to put their hand up as well and ask a question, more than happy to answer as well. So I'll just open that up now. And yeah, if you guys want to pop anything in there, you can do so. I might hand over to David if he wants to take over from Devansh. Oh, yeah, Rashid. Did you have a question? I'm not sure if you're on mute, but I'm happy for you to maybe pop your questions in the chat box and I can respond to them a little bit afterwards, maybe once David said his piece.
You've got another, Yumang's got the hand up there too. So if you want to unmute and ask a question, if you've got your hand up.
I'm not sure if you guys have your Teams on mute at all.
Don't have the ability to unmute. Okay, understood. So perhaps if you put your question in the chat box there.
Chat box.
Yep. So while you're doing that, putting your question in the chat box, I might just introduce myself and talk a little bit about the training that you can expect to receive. So, hi everyone, my name's Dave, and Dave Bradford. I'm from the Devansh Group, and we run two national RTOs, registered training organisations or colleges across Australia. And we principally work in the health and community services. So we assist people to acquire their qualifications in all areas of disability, aged care, youth work, child, youth and family intervention, community services, domestic family violence work. And we have a long and healthy partnership with the Edmen Group, some of our favourite people. And we basically work to assist you in a really seamless way in your process of onboarding and commencing work with Edmen to actually also meet your qualification requirements. Some of the areas that you're working in, and specifically if we talk about youth work, require a minimum qualification. And that minimum qualification standard is generally a Cert IV. And so the Cert IV or Certificate Level 4 in Child, Youth and Family Intervention is the qualification that we support you to receive. And we do it in a number of different ways. So traditionally, the way to acquire a qualification might involve attending classes a couple of days a week and sitting exams and writing assignments and doing all that sort of thing. What we prefer to do, and we've made this arrangement with Edmen, is that we actually look to recognise your previous skills and experience. We look to recognise that during the course of your onboarding with Edmen and the work that you're doing, that you'll undertake certain induction training activities, and we can actually recognise your induction against the qualification requirements, so you can fast track your way through the qualification. We have online learning as well as Zoom enabled learning, and what we call asynchronous learning, where we can bring people together on Zooms and actually work through learning material as well. And we also offer recognition of prior learning. Perhaps you've been in and around our sector previously or done some of this work before, and you'd like to have that recognised. We can assist you to build a portfolio of evidence that actually proves that you've got the knowledge, skills and experience to meet some of the assessment requirements. So there's a whole range of really flexible ways to work your way through the required qualifications. I'm just seeing there, Rashid, you've asked the question there. I've got my diploma of community services, so do I have to enroll in the Cert IV? No, you do not. If you've got a qualification already and you've got that minimum qualification, you don't have to enroll to actually complete that qualification. You meet that requirement. You may wish to use your opportunity working for Edmen to, in fact, do another qualification or a different qualification. You may want to talk to us about university articulation. We have articulation arrangements with 5 different universities across the country where you can take your diploma and credit up to a bachelor's degree and receive a year off that bachelor's degree for having completed our diploma. I suppose the partnership between ourselves and Edmen is probably best described as a integrated training and assessment opportunity where the very activities you're doing in the course of onboarding and induction with Edmen, the very activities you're doing every day at work can actually help you acquire your qualification without the need to do the long, slow, traditional kind of mode of study. And it's a path that we've had established for many years now, and it works really very smoothly. And so the provision of naturally occurring evidence in the workplace, the provision of your I-Induct modules, which are the induction modules you'll do as part of your onboarding, all go towards a portfolio that substantiates a fairly robust proof of your knowledge, skills and experience. So we also have funding available in multiple states. So for example, in Queensland, the funding might be such that a Cert IV could only cost $40 based on certain eligibility criteria. And those eligibility criteria are often that you're a Queensland resident, that you're not currently enrolled in another qualification, and that you don't have another qualification at the same level or higher. We have that funding in multiple states, and it just differs depending on your circumstances. But we generally find that most people are eligible for some level of funding. And should you be in the situation that Rashid's in there with the current diploma, you'd be looking at a fee for service option. And essentially with that, we have a hum payment plan where it's no interest ever. You pay it over 24 months, no interest ever, and it's tax deductible clearly because you're working in the sector, which is a really sensible way to acquire a qualification in circumstances where we're not able to find funding for you. But we're generally pretty good at being able to allocate or line people up with funding and support that. Okay, there's a question there. Is Edmen providing training to beginners who just completed the degree in community services? So I think what you're really asking there is, will Edmen provide, if somebody's finished their diploma, will they still have to do training with Edmen? So there's 2 lots of training. One is your induction training to be an employee with Edmen, which any employer would ask you to do, so that the employer can be satisfied that they've actually given you your best opportunity to start in the business and be safe and be compliant and meet the employer's obligations. So the induction training is very separate to the accreditation training. So if we maybe put them in those terms. So yes, regardless of your previous qualifications, you would need to do induction training for the sake of workplace health and safety and well-being and onboarding, and setting yourself up for success in your new employment relationship with Edmen. With the accreditation training, if you've already got the qualification and you are accredited, then you wouldn't need to go on and do that. But that accreditation is a standard set by government, where government have said there's a minimum standard that once you employ somebody and you induct them and onboard them, before you put them on shift, they need to be enrolled in and working towards an accredited qualification, such as a Cert IV in child, youth and family intervention. I hope that's answered that question. So maybe at this point, I'll just invite any other questions from anybody who'd like to maybe tease out something I've discussed there a bit further. Any questions? All right. Well, I might throw back to Kimberly.
Beautiful. Thanks, David. Perfect. All right. Well, I don't know if anyone has any other questions. I've just had a quick look at the chat. I know there's a couple come through. David, you've answered the few that have come through as well.
Yep, there's one there from Rebecca.
Yeah.
So I'm already enrolled in the Cert IV. I've just started my first assessment. I have also done Hope and Healing. Great, well done. And have my blue card. How much of the course do you have to have completed before you can start work? Okay, great question. Thanks, Rebecca. So essentially, the requirement in Queensland is that you must be enrolled and working towards it. So you certainly meet that requirement. If you're enrolled and working towards the course, you're absolutely no problem at all. It's same in SA. If you're enrolled and working towards, you're all good. And New South Wales as well. I think Victoria is the only place that requires you to actually have the qual before you start work, but I think that's under review now because they're recognising that that's there's some pressures. It's causing some pressures in terms of labour supply. So Rebecca, you currently meet the requirement to start in terms of where you're up to. Just in terms of your enrolment, should you wish to move over move your enrolment over to us so you can get that the benefit of your alignment with Edmen, the benefit of your induction, and we've also mapped Hope and Healing, so that'll fast track your training as well and reduce the amount of time to study. Then it's simply a matter of contacting our office through Edmen, contacting us, and we can assist you to move your enrolment over to us in order to fast track. All right, Bosi, you're in South Australia. So you're saying that you currently work as a disability support worker with a Certificate 3. Love to get the Cert 4 and work for Edmen. Yeah, so look, you might find, Bosa, that some of your units that you've got in your Cert 3 will get you credit towards your Cert 4 and actually speed up your Cert 4, as well as getting the benefit of the induction and other such things in terms of fast tracking. So that's simply a matter of when you enroll, just provide us with a copy of your Cert 3 transcript and we can look and see if there's any credits there. So that'll work really well. Rashid, what's the next stage of the process in being employed with Edmen? So I'll let Kimberly ask that. And there's a question there. I have no experience, but really interested in youth work. Well, you're in the right place. If you've got no experience, but you're interested in youth work, this is exactly why we've established this partnership, so that we can actually help people to train to become youth workers. And just to be really direct with you, gang, I've been in this sector for 35 years. I've worked in all areas of youth work and child protection. I was a child protection manager. I was the director of training for the department here in Queensland. And I started out as a residential youth worker, way back in the 1990s. And what I'd say to you is that essentially we choose for attitude and we train for skill. If you're coming at this with the right attitude and aptitude and a willingness to actually assist and support vulnerable children and young people, then we want you, and we want your friends and family. We want the people around you to come and work with us, because it's really critical but rewarding work. And just because you don't have experience or just because you don't have training, we've solved that through this really well-established partnership with Edmen, where the employer and the training provider are actually walking side by side, recognizing what you're doing in induction, recognizing what you're doing in the workplace, and assisting you to actually meet those requirements. And our desire is that we give you the training and onboarding experience that sees you, really well supported, knowing what you're doing every day at work, and it's an opportunity for you to thrive in a workplace that values you. And that's the offering. So I'd really encourage you to apply, and don't be discouraged if you feel like, well, I don't have experience. That doesn't mean you don't have something to offer, and we will help you identify all of that, and we'll help you develop the skills necessary to be really effective in this place. And look, I'm a living example of someone who's had a very long career in this environment, and I wouldn't change a thing. I've really enjoyed it. So please don't be discouraged, and please encourage others to really give it consideration, because we understand that people need some confidence and need some support. How long is it going to take to complete the Cert 4? Thanks, Peace. That's a great question. Well, it takes a bit. You've got 2 years to do it, but I've never seen anybody take the 2 years to do it. So you've got 2 years to do it, but look, that's not necessarily the case. We undertake a fast tracking process where, as I say, we recognise the induction that iInduct and Edmen provide you. So iInduct's the program that Edmen uses to do your induction. We recognise that induction, and we've already done a process called mapping, where we've actually taken that induction and mapped it against the units of competence. So we're not retraining you or reassessing you or doing it twice. We've taken hope and healing. So you saw there before that Rebecca mentioned the hope and healing training. Hope and Healing is a program that Peak Care in Queensland actually get resi workers in Queensland to do. We've mapped that in as well, so we can recognise that training and put it in for RPL. And then we offer, as I say, the Zoom enabled process. We offer the online self-paced process, but we also offer recognition of prior learning. And so once you're in the workplace and you're working, you'll be starting to produce naturally occurring evidence. You know, workplace documents, incident reports, workplace health and safety reports, case notes, case plans, all these sorts of things. We ask you to redact them and actually work through a recognition process with us, where if we can demonstrate that you're doing what's required every day at work, then we don't need to do the traditional train and assess. We can simply do an assessment of that. We ask you some basic questions. We ask for a third-party report from Edmen to say that, you know, this person's performing to the required standard. We gather that evidence and build a portfolio. And I've seen people complete their Cert IV within the matter of months undertaking that process. So we've got multiple ways of, it's a really blended way, but multiple ways of actually doing the assessment to help you fast track your qualification. You generally won't find out there in RTO land or college land or TAFE and other places a more streamlined and intuitive process than the one we've got. And Edmen and Devanj have worked together over a number of years to really perfect this and make it work really, really well. All right, yep, Rashid's asked the question and Kimberly's answered that about the roles and how to actually get started, which is good. Yep, reply. Great. Any other questions anybody's got out there? No. Kimberly, back to you.
Beautiful. Thanks, David. Perfect. Oh.
How do we get started? That sounds like a Kimberly question to me.
Yes, so I have actually just mentioned that we do have multiple roles across Australia, depending on where you're located. So if you want to have a look at our website or Seek, you can apply through there. I've also put my email in the chat, so if anybody wants to just jot that down, you can send through your CV and just mention where you're also located so that we can see what possible opportunities are available in your area. And then I can follow up with you on next steps to get the process started for you as well. Beautiful. I think that was it. I think most people just want to know, yeah, how to apply. Okay, cool. Beautiful. Great to see everybody's contribution and efforts today. Thank you so much for engaging as well and for joining us. I think we'll end it there. David, if you don't have anything else.
All I just want to say is, look, thank you everybody for participating today, and thanks for your interest in the roles with Edmen. I mean, I certainly, as someone who's been in the sector a long time, I can really endorse Edmen as a great employer, and I think everything Kimberly said early on is absolutely true. Look, I just want to say this is a really rewarding sector. I think that there's just so much potential here for people who really want to make a difference in the lives of others, and I'd really encourage you to think about it. And I just really want to reinforce that point where if you have that sort of crisis of confidence where you're feeling like, well, I don't have any experience, that's okay. Don't let that be something that stops you, because we've developed this process to absolutely help you to join and to thrive in this work. So I'd really encourage you to apply.
Beautiful. Yeah, and just going back to both sides, we do have entry-level positions available. That's the whole reason we've implemented our Kickstart program as well,
Yep.
in line to partner up with Devanj. So you can enroll in the qualification and get started with training pretty much straight away, even though you haven't completed your qualification and you don't have that experience yet. So
Yep.
It's a really great opportunity to earn whilst you're learning on the job as well. So yeah,
Yep.
Don't let that stop you, like David said. Just definitely apply and we can get you started.
That's what we're here to sort out. Yep.
Yes. Beautiful. You're welcome, guys. Thank you all for attending. I will end it there. And yeah, just forward through your CVs, have a look on Seek, like I said, apply for the jobs, and we'll be in touch with you. Thanks, guys. See
Thank
you
you.
later.
Bye.